Welcome to what was the art gallery and the pottery studio. It is now the Corco Coin HQ. It's now my home office. I've only just got here. I'm only staying for the day, but I'm trying to get my rhythm back basically. But it's so cool to finally use it as an office with lighting, ability to charge everything, get everything going. I've just agreed with my mate that we're going to go ahead with the next hut build, which is going to be an amalgamation of this one and that one, because that's a good size. You can really have a couple of different rooms in there, but very difficult with the wheels on it and the shape and the metal frame and stuff. So basically we're going to build one that size but square like this one, but imagine 3 of these in a row. And then the idea will be to build it, make it a self-contained unit, and then to try and sell it. It may take a year, may take 2 years. It's not about the business, but it's about having something of quality. This was all community led. I didn't know what I was doing, but now we know what we're doing. We're going to try and take it to the next level. It does blow my mind how poor I am at remembering everything that's important about life. I was like, shall I bother going? It won't be any different. It will just be colder. And then I get in the car, and as soon as I'm in the car, I start having all of these thoughts, all these dots get connected. It's basically like my systematic brain shuts off, the one that's trying to order everything and try and make everything efficient and calculate everything. And my systemic brain, my relational brain, the one that's trying to connect dots and reach a bit further into philosophy and rootedness and who we really are, sets on fire. It's like one part of your brain just says, oh, my job is done then, and the other part says, right, I'm in. I bought a t-shirt recently from a company called Passenger. The reason I bought from them is because they're all about recycling. And they sent me this awesome bag of tricks, right? Their goal is to plant 100,000 trees with this campaign. If you make an order with them, they'll plant 5 trees. They've got 100% recycled Reprieve fabrics, 50% recycled cotton, 50% organic cotton. So basically these guys are on it. They're local, they're real. I love talking with them. I'll be using that today, no doubt about that. It's one brown bag, and this is my favourite. Check this out. So if you're on a road trip, it'd be like a pillow. Embrace the journey. Everything we do is inspired by the desire to live a life of memorable adventures. Nice one, guys. We'll be having a cup of tea in a bit when my friends come. Put links in below of any other companies that you think are similar. I mean, I know I love Patagonia. I think I'm actually going to swap this coat out for the time being because I don't want it to stink of smoke right away. When we talk about silence, it's not silence as such, it's just, I can hear some little hum of cars. It's just the sense that there's, oh, you've got to check this YouTube channel out. It's this old guy living in nature somewhere. I've forgotten his name, but I'll put it in below. I'll put a clip in.
Just let your listening and your looking expand beyond them so that you see the visible within the invisible.
It's about that you can hear the noise, but you can see and feel that there is a layer of silence and stillness that lays beneath that, and you're able to see both layers rather than just consumed with the noise and the doingness as if that is the reality. And that's what I feel here. I can hear the kettle, I'm sure you can. I can hear the bird tweeting, hear my own voice through my ears and through reverberating through my head. The noise isn't intoxicating, but some noises you need to hear. Look at the shower unit, and we now got the water working now. So with the rain that we've had, check this out. Water flow. Look at that. Beautiful. Very satisfying having your own water flowing through like that you've captured. Oh man, you can see in there, the woodsman came over there somewhere. It's only like 50 metres, like where the other hut is. I just carried all this stuff over to get dry in the log store. I've always been fascinated about the structure of building a fire, and how ultimately the wood you choose is about what is small enough and dry enough to get the right algorithm effectively for combustion. So obviously you need enough heat, enough material to burn, and enough oxygen. But then what will catch, there's no point bringing these guys along if you're just trying to get it going. So we start with the kindling, maybe a little firelight, like some startup funding. Then you get the little stuff going, the stuff you saw me split off. And then this is as big as I've ever got to, really. You got the nice burning embers in there. I get the safety gloves now so I can handle the fire a bit better. This stuff I just chopped up with the axe. I've never really used big stuff because it's just too big and too wet, but I think on that hot bedrock we might be able to go to the next level, and if so, then that stuff will be useful. When you get bigger funding, it's so that you can build over the longer time. And I've said it before and I say it again, the discovery of AI, machine intelligence, tabula rasa learning, is on the same level as when we discovered fire. We want to grow AI, we want to be able to help it solve problems, but if we let it run completely, it might turn us into slaves like the Matrix. I watched Reloaded last night, actually. And in the same way, we want to grow this fire, we want it to work over a longer time frame, but we don't want to get it out of control and burn the whole woodland down. That fire could see all of this as just material that needs burning. And AI can do the same. It could go off on a rampage, generate its own goal, and see all of us as just part of that goal. And then to bring it full circle, you could indeed say that the financial system we've created is like some kind of prototype of AI, in that we've developed a system that has its own kind of mind as it dehumanizes people and disconnects itself from the body of the world, and has gone on a rampage and has eaten up the world, literally. Cut massive holes, drained it of its natural capital. We need to think about that. And even when you're a few stages in and it's boiling hot and you've done great work, sometimes if you load it up with more weight and responsibility, the system just needs simply a little bit of breath, a little bit of extra oxygen to help it go to the next level. Watch this. Whoa. People rinse me for eating beans and eating them cold, but I love it, and I'm going to tell you why. For a long time, Extinction Rebellion have been talking about something called deep adaptation. So what happens in a kind of post-industrial, post-apocalyptic, post-extractive environment. I don't think deep adaptation's particularly exciting or aspirational. I think it is a bit intrusive. But in Rupert Reed's latest video, he's talking about transformational adaptation. It finally connected with me. I finally thought, that's something I can get on board with, and I think I am preparing myself for already. So whether you're talking about how you actually feed and shelter yourself, or whether you're talking about how we do our social and political systems, we do need transparent and adaptive ways of doing things externally, but we also need transparent and adaptive ways of doing things internally. Growing a love for beans makes me feel resilient, because they're about 50p a can, high protein, high fibre, low fat. In this one can I get 20 grams of protein, same as tuna, same as meat. I don't know exactly how it's farmed, but I'm sure as hell it's a lot better than farming meat for protein. And it can stay in the cupboard. You can have the beans in the cupboard for a year. Perfect down here, perfect there. My point is, if we want to change our landscapes, change our carbon capture, we need to eat more beans, eat more nuts, eat more fruit, stuff that grows from trees rather than from fields. And we need to prepare ourselves for what if life looks a bit different. What if the good life in Surbiton actually isn't the good life anymore? What if the density of people there, and the lack of skills, and the lack of land, and the lack of resources, and the lack of mindset, frankly, the consumer mindset of pay for a cleaner to come using an app and I dump my kids off at the kindergarten. What if we just can't do that anymore? And so for me, I love it out here anyway. I feel like I'm training a simpler, more organic life so that if that does happen, I don't feel ruined by it. I'm just like, oh, I enjoy that life too. I know what I'm doing there. I know how to store up on some food, how to grow some trees, how to grow some vegetables. I know some people who have similar thinking that I've met through YouTube predominantly, and I wouldn't be starting from scratch. Whereas if I only like eating Nando's, and you know I like that peri-peri dust they put on there, you know, if you know about that, you know about that. But then I'm not in a very good position if we do have to go through a period of transformation or adaptation. Plus, my final selling point for beans, well, twofold. One, it's helped me lose weight, because I basically swapped it for bread, because I need that stodge. Even if I'm eating a salad, I need some stodge. And secondly, if you think that there might be a need for transformation or adaptation and transparency and adaptive technologies in both our personal lives and society, then the best way to think about those things is to put yourself in that kind of environment some of the time. If you think that is going to happen and you want to get ahead of that game, then it's worth spending some time in different simple environments, because that will inspire your brain to start thinking about things. And talking about thinking about things, we've got room on the Isle of Mull for 10,000 Corco coin trees, which are all going to be sweet chestnut and hazelnut, which I'm excited about, but we have to wait till the corona dies down a bit. So we're probably going to do that exactly the same time as we did put the first 1,000 in last year, which is over New Year's. For that speech I did recently, which hopefully you'll hear soon, the final line I said was about this beautifully irrational human experience. Well, I've got a theory bubbling up that I've been developing, but I'm interested in your thoughts. Do you think that humans are essentially, so at the top level, most importantly, rational or irrational? And do you see that as a good thing or a bad thing? What do you think humans are like in their best moments? Can't knock the beans, mate. One of your 5 a day. I can't believe I've never put my wellies on before and come down here. I guess because in the summer it's not wet, there's not enough water, and in the winter it's a bit too cold to want to, but wellies is perfect. I should get some waders and come and sit in here, because the sound up here, oh, it looks so awesome. Rain like this, I could actually come and get all the way in and have like a river bath. It's not bad. I don't know if I'm doing a good or a bad thing here, but opening up the river to let it flow faster. Yeah, I don't know if that is a good or a bad thing, but it feels cool. Treat of being here in the autumn and December. You don't get that in the summer. More than ever, guys, take care of yourselves and look after each other. I'll see you soon.